these people, okay, most cars have jump seats, which are seats that face the back. This is actually a limousine, but he didn't have the jump seats. I'll tell you why in a second. This was like the rear seat. This is like how the board was underneath the seat. I'll explain that. We don't have any of the upholstery in. Like I remember it when I was a kid, but I don't know. That's it. It's fine though. In here, this is where you put bigger guns, like pistols. This is just a fake toy, you know, just a toy gun that's broken. But that's why. And then every door had one. And grenades. He also was huge with grenades. And then I'm going to show you the inside of the car. You have to come closer to see in here. Okay, this seat, this is where you could store, yeah, you can come in, it's totally fine. You could store like big guns, like Tommy guns, he was well known for that. So this would open up this way. And this is not the original, of course, but that's how it was. It would just open up, and that's where he kept all his heavy machine guns, because he, you know, was known for having those Tommy guns. These bars are for when you're driving really crazy, you don't fall over, like a bus.
Okay.
Back then, they did not have bulletproof glass yet, because it didn't come out until 1929. This is 27. And it came out when they were building this Shedd Aquarium, because they used that really thick glass, and that's where they got the idea, well, if we make the glass really thick, it's not going to get hit by a bullet and break. Or it's not, it will break, but it won't hit me. So, because they didn't have that to protect the windows, now, again, like I said, I don't have it here, but that one is an original one. Back here, like all this is armor plating, you know, bulletproof. I'll show you bullet holes in the back in a minute. This, actually, all these would be up like that, and then the driver hit a button, and they all fall down. So, you know, this is the rear window, and they'll hit the button, and they'd all fall down like this. Oh, and it had curtains right here. So when they're transporting people, like, to what they call speakeasies, you know, his establishments, they wouldn't know where they were going.
Oh.
Like, say they have to bring an electrician. We actually met one of the people that, her father was the heating and refrigeration guy for Al Capone, and he rode in this car, and he talked about the curtains and how he had no idea where he was at.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then when he got out of the car, he'd be blindfolded until he got into the place. And then this right here is my favorite thing. It's a little window to shoot guns out of.
Oh.
Isn't that awesome?
That is way crazy.
I know, I love this thing. I think it's awesome. Okay, but it has more features for shooting guns. Cars didn't have sunroofs back then. See? Now this one, you stand up, it's heavy because it's armor plated. You know, it had to be bomb proof too. If you were driving a car and you tried to open it up this way, it's just going to slam shut on you. I mean, if it was a real sunroof, it would open up the other way. But, of course, this wasn't meant to be a sunroof. It was meant to, that's why it doesn't have the seats, the jump seats right here, because you couldn't stand up. And then you would stand up, like right here, to shoot people. Two guys, stand up and shoot. That's what it was for. And this up here is all metal. I always stand up on the car. It's hilarious. People look at me like, oh, no, it's metal. It's safe. And I also had other features which we don't have installed at the present time, but I can show you pictures of. Like it had this thing that you could, a kerosene tank, if you hit it, it would make a smoke screen because it would run along one of the heated pipes. All the wires and all that, all the tubes were in pipes. It would get really hot and it would make a screen of smoke so your pursuers would get blinded. This car has a V8 engine, and back then it was the largest engine you could get. The same engine won the Indianapolis 500 that year. You could go up to, I think, 100 miles an hour, which really surprises me. And, oh, I gotta show you the armor up there. And also it has, pause it because we're gonna make it too long. So it also has this little oil thing for, that you can, you hit a button and make, you know the roads were a lot different back then. Yeah. When you're going around a curve, that you could make oil go on the road, and then the other cars will wipe out. Like in the cartoons. That was for real. And then this part right here, when I was a little kid, I would play in this car all the time. Okay, this is my toy. I thought this was to stash money and hide it. I always knew it was Al Capone's car as a kid. But no, it's to put, my dad told me, it was to put tacks down there for when you're being chased, you can pop tires. I didn't believe it, but that's exactly what it's for. See? Just go straight to the ground. Just throw some caps down there really fast, pop some tires. That's all it is.
That is awesome.
I know. Like this was, then up there, you see that piece of metal that's kind of like falling down a little bit? That's to bulletproof the engine so that, you know, if they shot the engine, the whole engine's got metal plating that goes around it. So that way they couldn't, you know, make the car not run. And, yeah, then the windshield, okay, let's go back outside and I'll show you the rest of the outside, because I think I got everything on the inside. The windshield, the reason they couldn't have this car, it has armor plating that goes inside, around here too, you know, everything that's in there, but the reason they couldn't have this car on the street after the massacre is because they only made 2 of this car, ever. Cadillac only made 2. The other one's in Texas, still around, but Cadillac, you know, it's been verified, 2 of this body style, 2 of this. It has this thing called a VV windshield. You know, it's like a V here and a V on the other side, so they call it a VV. Everyone knew that's a Cadillac with a VV windshield left the scene of the crime. They only made 2 of that car. This car's seen on the street again, of course they're going to know it's that car. And the reason this is so impressive to have a VV windshield is because even like cars from 29, 30, 31, all the windshields are flat. Now, this is very aerodynamic. So, it's, you know, the best.
Yeah.
He was rich. And then, of course, most cars don't have the 2 spare tires at all, and he did. And then over in the back, I'm going to show you these trunks. When he went to Florida, because, you know, he went to Florida before the massacre. He went in, the massacre was in February, and he went the summer previous. And he had these trunks on the car to transport his stuff. These trunks are super fancy. Like most trunks, you could see maybe once these kind of trunks, this plain metal thing. But this was like, even the most expensive car you could get, I forget the name of it, because I really don't care about it, it's not a Cadillac, was not this fancy. Because I've been looking at antique cars. Let me show you inside, okay? This trunk, the appraiser, when we got it appraised, he could not believe that I had this.
Oh, really?
He was in shock. He said he'd never seen a trunk like this in his life. Okay, it's old. It's over almost 100 years old. This, oh, he's stuff in here, is a hat box. He always wore sealskin hats.
Yeah.
Well, in Florida he wore straw. But, see, you've got stuff in there. But look at the embroidery. It's all, I mean, wouldn't you love to have luggage like that for your clothes? And then he's got, you know, he dresses really nice. These 2 suitcases and then this big one. I think he put guns in there, but I don't know. Probably not. It's his clothes. I mean, he's a really high maintenance guy. And this is totally optional. Most cars don't have it. You can fold the thing up. This thing that the trunk's not on, you can just fold back. If this trunk was not on here right now, you'd see the bullet holes really well. I can show you one right now that you'll see really, actually a few. One that's, but there's 2 really good ones behind this one trunk. But they were not on, these were not on it during the massacre.
Oh.
Because these were just when he went to Florida. The car went to Florida once.
Oh.
Okay, dropped him off and then came back. Right here's one. Can you see like the reflection? My dad covered him up because his parents didn't want him to have this car. He tried, but it's still there. And when the appraiser came, he tested the metal and it was a totally different kind than the rest of the car. I thought that was great. And then, the other ones you can't see. They're behind here. There's 2 really good ones, but I have a picture. I'll give you a copy of it. You can't really, where? See, I don't think I can move this.